Today on Your Demand, we are taking a proper look at Benda Chinchilla 500. This is not a first impression or a parking lot review. This motorcycle is full of surprises. Some of them are really good and some of them made me question if you should spend your money on this bike. Let's start with the obvious.
Design.
It looks absolutely great. Whether you love cruisers or not, I think the Benda did a good job with the styling. It has that classic American cruiser inspiration but still manages to have its own identity.
The gold pinstripes looks classy, although personally I am not a fan of these grey decals on the tank and the fenders.
That's obviously personal taste, but I think less would have been more.
Seat height.
One thing you'll notice immediately is how low this motorcycle sits. If you're a short rider, you'll absolutely love it. Flat feet, both sides. And even if you're a taller rider, it's not a problem because it won't feel tiny. This motorcycle is massive.
The downside.
But the low seat comes with a downside, the ground clearance. The bike sits really low, which looks cool until you meet the steep driveways, speed bumps and the parking garage ramps. Personally, I think Benda could have raised the motorcycle just few centimeters without ruining the looks. It would have made the daily ride much easier.
Fuel consumption.
Benda gives you 16-liter gas tank. According to my calculation, the fuel consumption is around 3.6 liters per 100 kilometers. So you should expect around 450 kilometers on a single tank.
Basic specs.
So what do you get for 6,000 euros? Well, you definitely get LEDs all around. The front headlight LED, the turn signals LED, and that is also for the rear ones. Also the rear brake light LED. You get a beautiful looking V-twin engine making around 35 kilowatt and dual exhaust. Although you get a full TFT display, there is not much to it. You can set the time and reset the trips. That's about it. And it is a touch screen, plus you get ABS and the traction control which you can turn on and off by this switch. Front suspension is definitely not adjustable, but the rear one is. You get a 6-speed manual gear shifter, no quick shifters here. And of course, being a cruiser, it comes with a belt drive, no chains here. You get basic in-house Benda calipers, nothing fancy here, no Nissan, no Brembo.
Bad stuff.
The heat issue has to be on top of my list. What heat issue, you may ask? Well, let me show you. One of the rules of riding motorcycles is on the traffic lights, you hold your motorcycle with the rear brake. But because of the heat issue that comes out of the clutch cover and the exhaust pipe, not only it is uncomfortable but painful to keep your foot on the rear brake. So now instead of holding the motorcycle with the rear brake, my foot is somewhere around here and I'm holding the bike with the front brake, which is not ideal but it works. But once you start moving again, everything improves, the heat issue goes away. So in the city traffic, you'll definitely notice it and you'll definitely feel it.
Build quality.
Remember, this motorcycle has less than 500 kilometers, so I wasn't expecting any issues anytime soon. But unfortunately, I already have few. One being the heat issue, of course, and the second one is the brake. The rear brake squeeze every time I use it. I made a claim under the warranty to the manufacturer and the dealer, and their advice was to brake harder to break into the router and the pads. I doubt it's gonna work out, but I'm gonna give it a try and we'll see how it goes. Another one is kind of funny. The front reflectors just kind of fell off. No crash, no impact, they just fell off. So Benda, maybe use a better glue next time. It's not a major failure, but again, on a brand new motorcycle, these kind of things shouldn't happen.
Comfort.
Looking at this motorcycle, you'll probably think this motorcycle is incredibly comfortable. Well, not exactly. For the passenger, after about an hour and a half ride, they'll probably be asking for a coffee break and a long one. As for the rider, I am honestly torn because I can ride my MV Agusta, which has much more aggressive riding position, for at least half a day before I start feeling uncomfortable. But for Benda, it's about 1.5 hour ride before I start feeling the seat. Now, why is that? Maybe because I am more used to of a sportier riding position, or maybe it is the seat itself. I have yet to find that out.
Other options.
What else can you get for the same amount of money? Well, we have quite a few options.
You can get Honda Rebel 500 for 6,100 euros, Vogue CU 525 for 6,000 to 6,500 euros, Benelli 502 Cruiser for 6,600 euros, or QJ Motor SRV 600V for 7,500 euros.
For 6,000 euros, but I paid 5,500 euros. That is the cheapest bike in its category. And for the new riders, the price is actually a huge deciding factor. The money you save buying this motorcycle is the money you have to spend on a better quality gear.
The verdict.
Would I or should you buy a Benda Chinchilla 500? Well, if you're looking for perfection, then definitely not. It has its flaws like any other motorcycle. The heat issue is real, the ground clearance is kinda inconvenience, and to be honest, I would like to see Benda put some more effort in the quality control. But if you're looking for an affordable cruiser, easy to ride, looks fantastic, and puts a smile on your face every time you walk towards it, then Benda definitely deserves to be on your shortlist. Let's be real, Benda is not trying to beat Harley, it's not trying to beat Honda, it's simply trying to offer something stylish, accessible, at a price more people can afford. And to be honest, I think Benda succeeded. If you got any more questions, leave them in the comments, and I'm gonna keep riding it for at least 1,000 kilometers more before I'll give you a next update. As always, ride safe, and I'll see you in the next one.